Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
Good
Tanish.
afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Zainab. Sahil has come after so long. Sahil, how are you?
Ma'am, I'm fine.
Good. You have recovered from your ailment. You got fracture, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you're all right now. Very good.
Yes,
Very good. Okay, let everyone join. And tell me what we were doing in the last class that we had on Tuesday.
We have started.
Ma'am, you told us about Khilafat and non-cooperation movements.
Okay. So we were on the Gandhian era, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am. You have explained us.
Fine. I explained you and you people were reading, right?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon. Good afternoon, beta. Fine.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. It is good morning or good afternoon. Today it is slightly sunny also. Mandrina? Yes?
Ma'am, it's afternoon.
It's good afternoon. Where are you? Outstation or in station?
Outstation, ma'am.
Good. Okay, you all have the books with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we were reading, right?
Ma'am, we have to start the reading today.
We have to start the reading today. Are you sure?
Good
Ma'am,
morning,
I
ma'am.
think so.
Good morning. I think we started reading, bacha.
We have
Good
done
afternoon,
till,
Good
ma'am,
afternoon.
we have done till non-violent satyagraha.
Okay. Non-violent
What we are
subject.
doing?
Beta, we
Ma'am,
are
we have to start from Khilafat and non-cooperation movement.
okay. Movements. Page 102, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So let us have Akshat Chandra reading.
Please wait for me. Ma'am, okay.
I thought your library is behind you. You must have taken from there only.
Ma'am, how's the
What is
weather
the
at
page
your
number?
side?
It is quite sunny over here.
Ma'am, which page number?
Page number 102.
Ma'am, is there any no flow chart in this chapter?
I have given you in the previous class only, no? For the previous in the previous chapter only. For this part also I have given.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Okay.
Ma'am, from where? Non-violent satyagraha movement.
No. Khilafat and non-cooperation movements. Right hand side.
Oh, right. And okay, ma'am.
Hmm.
Turkey was defeated by Allied powers during World War I. The Indian Muslims became apprehensive of the fate of Turkey and its Sultan, who was also the Caliph, or the religious head of the Muslims all over the world. The Muslims therefore formed a Khilafat committee under the leadership of Ali brothers, Mulana Muhammad Ali and Shokad Ali, and leaders like Mulana Azad and Hakim Ajmal Khan. Its purpose was to organize a country-wide agitation.
Agitation.
If the
Countrywide
agitation, if the position of Khalifa was undermined, Gandhi and other Congress leaders viewed the Khilafat agitation as the golden opportunity. As the agitation as a golden opportunity for bringing the Hindus and Muslims together on the national front and decided to support it.
National Front.
In June 1920, an all-party conference met at Allahabad and adopted a program of boycott of schools, colleges, and law courts. The Khilafat Committee launched a non-corporation movement on 31 August 1920. Gandhi was the first to join it.
But it
Thus,
is
the
non,
demand
beta. It is non-cooperation, okay? Say non-cooperation.
non-cooperation movement on 31st August 1920. Gandhi was the first to join it.
Very good. Next.
Thus,
Hmm.
the demands of Khilafat Committee and the Congress were merged into the non-cooperation movement was led by Gandhi to get those demands fulfilled. The program of non-cooperation movement included the surrendering all titles and
Honorary offices,
honorary offices, resigning from nominated seats in local bodies, refusal to attend government or semi-government functions, the gradual withdrawal of children from schools and colleges adhered or controlled by the government, boycott of British codes by lawyers and litigants. Ma'am, what is litigants?
Litigants होते हैं a person who is taken a legal advisor of court. ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am. Boycott of elections to be held for the councils as suggested by the reforms of 1919 and boycott of foreign goods.
Very good. Anything in this to be explained again, beta?
No, ma'am.
All clear and understood? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, constructive features of non-cooperation movement. Now, constructive means, there were certain provisions which were made and which made this non-cooperation a large movement, a big movement, a mass movement, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we have Manrina reading? You have the book with you, Manrina?
Yes, ma'am.
Read.
Constructive features of non-cooperation movement. Three main features of the constructive program were the first, promotion of Swadeshi, particularly hand spinning and weaving. Second, removal of untouchability among Hindus and promotion of Hindu-Muslim unity.
Right. See, we all know that non-cooperation movement was launched along with the Khilafat movement. Now, why Gandhiji initiated this non-cooperation? Because he wanted to bring Hindus and Muslims together again, right? Right? Because of the Bengal partition, because of the formation of Muslim League, whatever happened, all these things, they hampered the unity of the Hindus and the Muslims in the country. So Gandhiji thought that when Khilafat movement is being launched by Ali brothers, he took it as an opportunity to bring Hindus and Muslims together. So he initiated for the non-cooperation movement. Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Then
Yes,
second,
Yes, ma'am.
when we talk of non-cooperation movement, the Satyagraha movements which were initiated by Gandhiji, this non-cooperation was of that time the first mass movement. Mass movement means a movement that was initiated by Gandhiji, but then the contribution was given from all the Indians. Most of the Indians, they were part of this non-cooperation movement. I hope I am clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Then we
Yes,
also
ma'am.
remember, if you remember that we read about the partition of Bengal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
During this partition of Bengal, when partition of Bengal happened, at that time, Indians, what they did to show their, grievances or to show their anger to the British government, what they did, they boycotted the foreign good, right? Whatever goods were brought by the British in India to, for the marketing and all. So what they did, they adopted the Swadeshi movement program, and under this Swadeshi movement program, whatever was produced in the country by the Indians, that was only promoted and that was only purchased by each and every Indian to promote the Swadeshi movement, right, to support the Swadeshi movement and to tell the British government that whatever you have done, we are not happy with that. So you have to bear the consequences of that. Now, how the British government had to bear the consequences? People were buying Indian made goods, right? So because of that, the demand for the foreign goods went very low. And the British government had to bear lots of losses because of this Swadeshi movement, which was launched during the non-cooperation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then
Yes, ma'am.
boycott of foreign goods was also one feature of this non-cooperation. Though boycott movement and the Swadeshi movement, they were initiated long time back in 1906. But when Gandhiji launched the non-cooperation along with the Khilafat movement, again both these movements were merged with this non-cooperation movement. I hope I am clear with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, see this non-cooperation movement and Khilafat movement, they like 1920 they were launched, right? So from 1920 to 1921, things were going very smooth. Now, all of a sudden in 1922, you know what happened? February, before February only, somewhere in January 1922, these peaceful satyagrahis, they were they were moving on the they were taking their possessions and they were moving out. They were demonstrating peacefully, moving on the road, and all of a sudden in the market somebody disturbed these moving satyagrahis, and the crowd which was there, they got so frustrated, they got so irritated with this kind of disturbances that they out in the outrage, what they did, they burnt the police station which was there. And in that police station 22 people were there. They were they were burnt alive. And when people came to know about this incident, they were all shaken. And when Gandhiji came to know about this incident, he really felt very bad. And he said that what is the motive of going for non-violent ways when you have not suppressed the violence that is within you, when you are not able to control that, the anger that you have, when you're not able to control that, what is the use of going for these peaceful demonstrations when you cannot control your anger, when you cannot control the uh, disturbances that are coming to you. So he in this fist of anger, he called off the non-cooperation movement, and he said that no more non-cooperation movement will be launched. Let everyone learn how to be bearable, how to bear things, and how to be silent, how to remain calm even in worst of the situations. So when non-cooperation movement was called off, many of the people, they felt that whatever initiations were taken prior to it were everything went in vain, and people were not happy with this decision of calling off the non-cooperation movement. Now this whole incident of non-cooperation movement calling off, it is called by the incident of Chorizora. This Chorizora is a district, it is a small place in the district of Gorakhpur, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So so this
Yes, ma'am.
so whenever it is asked that why non-cooperation movement was called off by Gandhiji, so this non-cooperation movement was called off by Gandhiji because of the violent incident that happened at Chorizora in Gorakhpur in 1922, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
but it is really bad that, ma'am, they burn 22 people alive.
I know, beta, but then see, this police, they must have done something wrong to these people. No, that is why they showed their, anger and outraged. They got so, frustrated, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let us have Sahil reading now, course of the movement. Sahil, are you there?
Ma'am, I am there.
Wait, Sahil, where have you disappeared? Chalo, let it be. Anvi, read Anvi. Course of the movement.
Okay, ma'am. Course of the movement. As a result, Swadeshi became popular and khadi soon became a symbol of freedom. Liquor shops and foreign clothes shops were shunned. Huge bonfires of foreign clothes were organized all over the country and people avoided law courts. The Tilak Swaraj Fund was started to finance the non-cooperation movement. The visit of the Prince of Wales was boycotted and a complete hartal was
हड़ताल हड़ताल
obs- har-
हड़ताल
hartal
strike.
was
जिसको हम
observed
हिंदी
in
में
Bombay.
बेटा हम हिंदी में स्ट्राइक बोलते हैं, ठीक है. हड़ताल was organized, ठीक है.
Okay,
पढ़ो
ma'am.
पढ़ो.
Was observed in Bombay on the day of his arrival.
Hmm.
Government repression. The government took recourse to the repression. The Congress and the Khilafat volunteer organizations were declared unlawful. Public meetings were forbidden. By December 1921, with the exception of Mahatma Gandhi, C.R. Das, Motilal Nehru, Lala Lajpat Rai, Maulana Azad, and many other top-ranking leaders were put behind prison walls.
Now
Suspension of
wait. Now during this course of non-cooperation movement, as I told you, for almost 2 years it was there in practice. For 1 year, it was 1.5 years, nothing happened. But government, they tried their best to suppress the movement. They had put many of the people into the jail, many of the nationalist leaders into jail, so that people the general public gets disheartened that when their leaders are not there, who will support them, right? So under this, many of the people, they were put into jail, right? This much is clear. Government repression is clear and understood to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, reading about the suspension of non-cooperation movement. Can we have Om reading?
Sure, ma'am. Suspension and non-cooperation movement. The non-cooperation movement came to an abrupt end because of a violent incident at Chorizora. Chorizora in
Yes.
a police station 15 miles away from Gorakhpur in UP in 1922. There the police opened fire on a bomb of peasants, exhausted its ammunition, and
On a mob of peasants exhausted its ammunition, and when the infuriated mob attacked the policemen, they found shelter in the Thana police station. Now read out.
the mob burned the Thana, which resulted in the death of 22 policemen inside the building.
Carry on.
The news of a Chorizora incident disturbed Mahatma Gandhi, and he suspended the non-cooperation movement. The non-cooperation contributed to national awakening and complete distrust towards the foreign government.
Beta, complete distrust.
Complete distrust towards the foreign government. People gained tremendous self-confidence and self-esteem. It became the first mass movement. The national sentiment reached the rest.
The
The
national
national
sentiment
sentiment reached the remotest corner of the land through this movement.
Okay. Anything up till here not clear or understood?
No, ma'am.
All clear and understood? No?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Now see, we all know that this all fight, whatever was going on, it was all for the independence, for Swaraj, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So now we will be reading that how, after the suspension of the non-cooperation movement, when Gandhiji was arrested, and, beta, 1 minute, huh? Just a minute. Acha. Sorry, beta, for the disturbance. Huh? Okay. So,
It's okay.
huh. So where I was, huh. So all this struggle was about the Swaraj only,
For independence.
for independence, for Swaraj, for having self-rule, right? Where people were, they were becoming unhappy with the British rule. That is why they wanted that self-rule should be given to the Indians. I hope up till here it is clear and understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
this non-cooperation movement, it was, when it was launched, people were, they expected lot many things from this mass movement. But when it was, when it came to an end, people were, some of the people, they felt they felt shattered, because they felt that now this much desired Swaraj will not come to them. So many of the people, they returned back to what they were doing. Like many of them, they were part of the British government. Many of them, they wanted to contest the elections for the legislative assembly elections, council elections, they wanted to contest. So some of them, they went there, and many of them, they returned back to what they were doing, because they felt that now this non-cooperation, as it was called off. So there is no point, waiting for something big to happen. I hope I am clear and understood up till here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, let us read, and then next topic I'll explain. Okay. Can we have Raj Nandini reading?
Ma'am, I.
Yes,
Let
ma'am.
Raj Nandini
Ma'am,
read.
may I?
Yes,
Ma'am, may
after,
I?
beta, after Raj Nandini, let Zainab read, and then Akshat. Okay. Yes, Raj
Ma'am,
Nandini.
ma'am, I am left.
Okay. All will read. Don't worry. Okay. Chalo.
Ma'am, Swarajit
Swarajists. Swarajists.
Swarajit. After the suspension of the non-cooperation movement and the arrest of Mahatma Gandhi, question arose before the Congress leadership whether to participate in the forthcoming elections to the legislative councils or not.
Hmm.
Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru advocated entry into the councils to end or mend them,
Hmm.
but they could not get support within the Congress.
Hmm.
Therefore, C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru resigned from the Congress and formed another party, the Congress Khilafat Swaraj Party, and prepared themselves for the coming elections to be held in 1923. Swarajists before failed to either end or
However,
mend the act.
Swarajists, however, failed to either end or mend the Act of 1919.
90.
Okay, अभी 1919 वाला एक्ट तो हमने आपको बताया था. What was it? रोलेट एक्ट था ना, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
अब क्या हुआ? Many of the people, they were disappointed. So half of them, some of them, they resigned from the INC. Some of them, they went back to what they were doing, disappointed only. Now, one sign of hope was given by the British government. The British government said, okay, we understand your problems, and what we want to do, let us we are trying to bring some amendments in the constitution that we are following. So Indians were very happy when they proposed this constitutional amendment. Now, to the disappointment of the Indians, what happened? The British government, they had appointed a commission which was called by the name of Simon Commission, because it was headed by Sir John Simon. That is why after his name, this commission was named as Simon Commission. But to the disappointment of the Indians, no Indian member was kept in that. And Gandhiji was called to London for the first roundtable conference for the same. Gandhiji refused. He said, what is the point? When no Indian member is there in this committee, why should I be part of it? So he boycotted that. He said, I don't want to be part of any such committee where, the Indians are not made part of it. अब सीधी सी बात है, मेरे घर में कोई मुझे परेशानी है तो I can better tell those problems, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can Manrina tell about my problems, what I am facing at my home? She cannot tell. She can tell only what problems she is facing at her place, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right. So that way many of the Indians were hurt by, though they were happy when they gave the proposal of constitutional amendment, but they were disappointed when they heard that no Indian member is part of it. And it was told to the Indians that, the Simon Commission is going to come to India. But when Indians heard about this, they felt very furious. They felt very, disappointed. Already they were disappointed, and they went very furious. When Simon Commission came, the moment the Sir John Simon, stepped on the Indian land, they were opposed by the Congress leaders and moderates, radicals, all of them, they, boycotted them, or they, greeted them with slogans like "Go back, Simon," right? So
Yes, ma'am.
this was something which they never expected, that Indians will go like this. So Simon Commission, when it came to India, it was not welcome at all. And ultimately, these people had to go back without suggesting any kind of amendment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Though this commission was to suggest reform, but it could not help out in suggesting any kind of reform, because first of all, no Indian member was there part of it. Secondly, when it came to India, it was, greeted with slogans like "Go back, Simon," "Wapis jao, Simon." Okay. Now
And
when
ma'am, for the Simon,
अभी तो बताया बेटा, Simon, Sir John Simon was the head of this commission, which was formed to suggest constitutional reforms, right?
okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now when Simon Commission, was coming to India, and when they came to India, when they landed on the country, at that time, many of the people demonstrated, and in this demonstration, the radical leader Lala Lajpat Rai was hurt badly, and after some times of this, he died. So the revolutionaries, those who were there, the moderates, the radicals, those who were there, they were very annoyed with the British government, because the act that they did, though Simon Commission, Indians refused to be part of it, still Simon Commission came to India, and to stop the demonstrators, those who were there, a lathi charge was opened by the British government. In this lathi charge only, the main leader of radicals was hurt, right? He was badly injured.
Yes, ma'am.
He was taken to the hospital. After some time, he could not recover, and he died because of this incident, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was all about the Simon Commission. Chalo. Now let us have Zainab reading, and then Akshay. Zainab first.
Simon Commission. In November 1927, the British government appointed a statutory commission to suggest further administrative reforms in India. This commission was headed by Sir John Simon to prepare a report on the working of diarchy introduced by the Act of 1919 and to suggest further reforms.
ये Act
The
of
Congress-
1919 मॉन्टेग चेम्सफोर्ड रिफॉर्म था. उन्होंने डायरकी गवर्नमेंट को जो है परमिशन दिया था कि two levels of government होंगे. I hope you remember this was done in the previous
Yes,
chapter.
ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Carry on, Zainab. Carry on.
The Congress boycotted this commission and as it did not include any Indians. When the commission arrived in India in February 1928, it was greeted with countrywide
Hartal.
demonstrations,
Hartal. Strike.
hartal demonstrations and slogans such as Simon Go Back. The congressmen waved black flags in peaceful demonstration at Madras under the leadership of Dr. Ansari. The opposition of Simon Commission led to intensification of economic discontent, which resulted in the emergence of certain radical parties and the growth of terrorist activities. A youth wing with socialist leaning arose within the fold of the Congress. It was led by Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose.
Fine. Anything to be explained here? All clear and understood, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Fine. Now, Nehru ji, as they were the young leaders, so they suggested certain reforms. We are going to read about those reforms only. The draft that was made by, Jawaharlal Nehru for the constitutional amendment, right? So let us read about the Nehru report. Can we have Akshat was supposed to read, right?
Yes,
Akshat.
ma'am. Okay. Nehru report. Lord Birkenhead, the then Secretary of State of India, challenged the Indian leaders to prepare or produce a constitution acceptable to all political parties in India. The
Beta, this
challenge was
Akshat,
by
ek minute. This drafted constitution was given by Motilal Nehru, father of Jawaharlal Nehru, in 1929. The constitution that we have right now, presently, the constitution that we have, many of the laws, many of the principles of that was proposed at that time in 1929. Right? Though the constitution came quite late in India, like even after 3 years of independence, 1950, 26 January 1950, the Indian constitution was enacted, right? It was enforced, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. But whatever proposals were there in the constitution, it was given long time back in 1929 by Motilal Nehru when they were told to draft the constitution, right?
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Carry on, Akshat, carry on.
Okay, ma'am. The challenge was accepted by the Congress.
Hmm.
Preliminary talks were held between the Hindu and Muslim leaders for resolving outstanding differences between the two communities regarding the future Indian constitution. A small committee consisting of 9 members was formed under the chairmanship of Pandit Motilal Nehru to draft a constitution for India. The committee was ultimately successful in drafting a constitution acceptable to all its members. It was adopted by all parties conference held at Lucknow from 28 to 31st August 1928. The main proposal of the draft constitution formed by the Nehru report included these points. First, it proposed dominant status for India. Second, responsible governments were to be introduced both at the center and the provinces.
Provinces, huh?
Provinces. Third, the government at the center was to be a federal or federal one including those of the native states. Fourth,
Do you know what is a federal government?
Which is elected by people.
Which is?
I'm elected
ma'am,
by people.
upcoming. Ma'am, upcoming.
नहीं, फेडरल का मतलब बेटा दो, हम जैसे फेडरल गवर्नमेंट होती है ना, वो दो तरीके से हम उसको प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. इंडिया में फेडरलिज्म प्रैक्टिस करते हैं हम लोग. तो इंडिया में व्हाट वी फॉलो, वी हैव डिफरेंट टायर्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, है ना, लेवल्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है हमारे कंट्री में, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
एंड पावर्स आर डिवाइडेड अमंग द ऑर्गन्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, है ना. लेवल्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड ऑर्गन्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, हॉरिजॉन्टल एंड वर्टिकल डिवीजन ऑफ पावर है हमारे कंट्री में, अमंग द ऑर्गन्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट एंड the levels of the government, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is called federal system. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
चलिए.
May I continue?
Yes, beta, continue.
Ma'am. Fourth one, the residuary powers were kept with the center. Fifth, the parliament at the center would consist of 2 houses, while by the provincial legislatures would have single houses. Sixth, a committee of defense was proposed at the center. Seventh, joint electorates were proposed throughout India. However, reservation of seats on the basis of population was proposed for the lower house at the center in the case of Muslims.
Okay.
Eighth, in the provinces, no reservation of seats was kept in Punjab and Bengal. 10th, in the northwest frontier province, seats were kept reserved for non-Muslims, while in the rest of the provinces, Seats were kept reserved for the Muslims on the basis of their population. All these reservations were allowed for a period of 10 years. 11th, the fundamental rights were to be incorporated in the constitution. In case the report was not accepted by the British government, the Congress decided that it would launch a campaign of non-cooperation in India.
Fine. Up till here, all clear and understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we are proceeding on to the civil disobedience movement. Do you know what is this civil disobedience movement? Yes, Akshat beta.
Ma'am, what's the meaning of frontier?
Frontier.
Some frontier.
फ्रंटियर तो वैसे मतलब लिटरल मीनिंग अगर आप देखो, एनीवन इन द क्लास हु कैन टेल मी व्हाट इज मेंट बाय फ्रंटियर? हाँ, yes class, anyone who can tell what is meant by frontier?
Ma'am, a line separating two countries or something.
Yes, Zainab, you said something, no? Please tell again.
Ma'am, a line or a line or a border separating two countries.
आप कह सकते हो कि जो यहाँ नॉर्थ वेस्ट फ्रंटियर प्रोविंस है, ये आप ये यूज करा गया था उस टाइम पे, जो जैसे जो हमेशा आगे रहते थे ना, दोज हु ऑलवेज वर एट द सेंटर स्टेज, उनके लिए कहा गया है, या जिन लोगों का बड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड होता था उनके लिए कहा गया है ये, ठीक है?
ओके मैम।
वैसे अगर आप लिटिल मीनिंग देखो तो फ्रंटियर का मतलब होता है बॉर्डर बिटवीन टू कंट्रीज, या स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड ऑन अ फ्रंटियर, मतलब किसी जगह पे स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड करना, ठीक है? अ रीजन दैट फॉर्म्स द मार्जिन्स ऑफ सेटल्ड और डेवलप्ड टेरिटरीज, या द innermost limits of the knowledge or achievements in a particular subject, line of division between different opposed वो जो होते हैं ना थिंग्स, दो चीजों में डिफरेंस होना, उसको भी हम फ्रंटियर बोलते हैं, ठीक है? So many meanings are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine? Fine?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
चलिए ठीक है। अक्षत क्लियर बेटा?
Yes, ma'am.
चलो, what do you know about civil disobedience? Please tell class anything that you know about civil disobedience. Manrina?
Ma'am, to disobey civil.
Means
Ma'am,
ठीक है, yes, yes.
it was a movement, ma'am, in which, people did not obey the orders of government, and they just make them independent.
यहाँ पे सिविल डिसोबीडियंस का मतलब होता है, सिविल का मतलब होता है लॉ, राइट? यहाँ पे इन्होंने यूज करा गया है लॉ, तो सिविल डिसोबीडियंस का मतलब टू गो अगेंस्ट द लॉ,